Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing great. So I just want to talk to you about why I chose Christianity. Um so I just tell you a bit of my testimony. I've got there's more to it than just more to it, more to my testimony than it meets the eye. So basically when I before I got saved, you know, I can't really remember what the person said to me, but basically, before I got saved, I was living in Cheltenham. No, I wasn't living in Cheltenham. Sorry, I was living in Stroud, in the Gloucestershire area. Was it Stroud? Yeah, no, it was in Stroud. I'm trying to think. It was in Stroud, like almost central Stroud, or yes, I would say central Stroud, Gloucestershire area, and I was like doing the things of the world, as you would do when you're not saved. And so I was actually doing a I was having a Tai Chi lesson. I was doing the Tai Chi at the time, but before I did the Tai Chi, I was basically going out to study drama, because I've done like NCFE drama BTEC, and a few more others, GCSE as well, maybe a few others. Can't remember now, but that might be it. So I was studying drama, and I was in a theatre. I was doing a I think it was like work experience, theatre work experience. Was it work experience? Yeah, I think it might be work experience. It might have been. Yeah. I was at college, and it was like, and I was like at another college, like an external college with another college, if that makes sense. My college, Ruskin referred me to a college called Glasgow, and that's where I started studying the drama. So I did the So basically, I was in the theater back in. I was in the theater, one of the local theaters in Cheltenham, and basically, I I I think there was this guy. He was when I was just doing my normal stuff, just with this theater, just studying, just finding out more about theater and stuff. And I was like, I was gonna take I was taking a lunch break, and the guy this is like in 2002. I was taking my lunch break, and the guy sorry, let me do it properly. I was taking my lunch break, and I was walking on the Cheltenham High Street, and there was a white guy that was preaching. Uh, Even to this day, I've never met him, and never thanked him, but I'm hoping someday I'm gonna thank him in heaven. So this white guy, this older chap. He might be. He was old, but I wouldn't say he was too old. He was like maybe 40, 30, could be either 30, 40, or 50 years old, and he was preaching on the streets. And he was like trying to, how you see these people on the streets, evangelizing and just street preaching, talking about Jesus and inviting people to become Christians. So he was doing that on the streets, and I decided that I'm gonna watch him. I'm gonna watch him and listen to what he has to say, because before I got saved, I respected God. I respected Christianity. I respected people that were. I don't know what I thought about respecting people as Christians, but I genuinely just respected God. Me not being a Christian, but I respected people. I respected God, and I respected Christians. If I respected God, I'd have to respect Christians. So I didn't. So I respected Christians, and I respected God. So I was just standing there listening to what he had to say, and I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but I'm sure something would have sparked, but I probably would have forgotten about it. So then I went and got my lunch, and then I think when I came back, I was like standing there. I was standing there looking for him. I think I might have been looking for him to see if he was still there, and I think he sort of like caught me just out of the blue. And this is what I vaguely remember. Some of it I might not remember properly, but he just sort of like caught my he just caught me, and then he said, I saw you. He said to me, I saw you watching me, and watching me preach. And he just, to be honest with you, from that point on, I couldn't remember what he said, because I think I'm not really sure. Really not sure what he said, but I'm guessing he did actually say to me, if you were to die today, where would you go, heaven or hell? Um, and he just sort of like carried on talking, and he just said, he just gave me a flyer and just said, he just gave me a flyer, and then he just said, you know, there wasn't much going on. There wasn't much he was saying after that, from what I vaguely remember. He just gave me the flyer and just talked to me about coming to church, and I think it was that. Yeah. But so I just I think I just sort of like, after that, I just sort of like got I I think I did actually ignore it, because I didn't notice anything until until I sort of like heading back home. But before he actually approached me and everything, before all that, you know, I at the time I thought I had everything under control, because before um before before I became a Christian, I was very, very stressed, and I couldn't sleep, and I was crying in bed most of the time. And I was very panicky. I was very panicky and worried and all that kind of stuff at the age of, right up until my birthday, 18. From 18 up until my literally on my 18th birthday, on my 17th or 8 when I was 17, and when I was 18, and also on my 18th birthday, I was basically unhappy. And my landlord or carer, well, landlord, he gave me a badge that had a line, had a line with a smile on it, because he noticed with me that I was unhappy. I looked unhappy all the time, and so he gave me a badge on my 18th birthday. And when you're 18, you'll be there with a normal 18-year-old. They'll be like celebrating the 18th, and just like having a party, saying they'll be having a party, and just be like all happy in that. You guys know what I mean anyway. So you'll be all happy in that, and you like, you can't wait to start drinking, doing adult stuff, and doing whatever you want, watching 18 films, doing whatever you want without that restriction. So yeah, at that time when I was 18, I wasn't happy. And so when I was heading back home, like I said, I at the time, before the guy approached me about Christianity, before that, I thought I had everything under control. And obviously God was just thinking, not a chance, mate, not a chance. I wasn't born yesterday. That's the kind of attitude, God had. But God didn't really did I don't think God would have said that to me. God wouldn't say that to you, obviously, because God doesn't want to argue with sinners. So that's the attitude that seemed to me that God had, by what he by what he by what he by what happened. Because me so basically what happened was, um he ex when I was on the way home, it sort of like dawned on me that what that guy said about, if you were to die today, where would you go, heaven or hell? It actually offended me, basically, by what he said. He offended me. But I and the reason why it offended me is because, like what I've said earlier, is because I thought I had everything under control. I had my life under control. I was going to college, I was working, I was, I had my own place. Which was a bit paid for, but I had my own place. And I literally had everything, like, thumbs up, under control, perfect, that type of thing. So you know um so when he told me that news, it just from literally, I think, from literally when I was on the bus home, it just ruined the rest of the day, the whole entire day. And so when he So when he so yeah, as you notice, I'm probably telling my testimony. I'm telling my testimony at the moment, and I'll explain myself soon. So when I got home, I was so upset about it. I told my the lady that was living next door to me. Um, so it's yeah, I told the lady that I was, yeah, sure, I told her, and then we had a bit of a conversation about it, and then eventually, because I at one point I actually forgot about this. At one point, she said to me that because at the time I thought it was actually illegal to be street preaching on the streets or witnessing on the streets. I literally thought it was illegal. You know, some of you guys might be thinking it's funny and that, but I think that's the kind of, I don't know if it was I don't know if that was the kind of mindset I had at the time, but I just thought it was illegal. Um, so you know, I talked to the carer, the support worker, the carer, and she said when I had a conversation and I told her that I was offended by it, then she said to me, would you like to come to church one time? Would you like to why don't you do something about it by just coming to church one time? And I said yeah, and I just said yeah, because I actually said yes because I wanted to give it a try to see what it's like, because you know you know um so like I said before, I had everything under control, and I just decided just out of the blue, just to give it a try, just to see how it goes. And you know things started, but from then things started happening, and stuff started to happen. But that's just a piece of the cake, what I've just told you. But now let me get to the point now. Let me get to the point now where I'm going to explain about why I chose Christianity. The reason why I chose Christianity is really, um, let me think. I think it gives you a self, it gives you a kind of happiness that you can't really, that some people might not understand, that people that won't people from the world won't understand. It gives you a kind of happiness. It gives you a kind of happiness that the world doesn't understand, and what the world cannot conceive, and what I don't know. You, I'm gonna say it's an understanding that I won't say that because I don't know what that means. Um, so it's something that they can't understand or sort of like comprehend. Um, that's the kind of happiness you get with Christianity, and you get such joy, such peace, because peace is not about peace is not about having a quiet room in a house, or a quiet building. Peace is like when your body, um peace is that is when your body peace is that is when peace is that is when your internal organs and your body is completely still, and it's just quiet, and it's just you're not feeling any emotions. you yeah, it's not the case of, yeah, you're not feeling any emotions. You just feel so, it feels so, I think tranquil, like in a way. So it's so you're so it's so you feel so peaceful as a Christian, that it's a bit like a water off a dog's back. Whatever, sometimes think when things happen to you, it doesn't affect you that much. I mean, things will affect you as a Christian, but you get you get such a peace in in your you get such a peace in your problem, that you'll have the strength to conquer it and beat that mountain. So that's what Christianity is about, and that's why I chose Christianity. But it's not just about, I mean, it is about peace and joy, and it's for me Christianity is, for me, why I chose Christianity is it's basically, it has changed me a lot, because before I was a Christian, I was moody. Well, I wasn't moody. I was I was upset, and I was very, very unhappy, depressed, you can say. And now that I know Christianity, and now that I know God, now that I know God and I know Jesus, um, uh, I feel this happiness inside of me that, that I wouldn't swap it for anything really. and and it's just, um what else? Yeah, for example, basically, when I before I was a Christian, I always wanted to have the giggles before I was a Christian. I always wanted to, like, what else? Yeah, I always wanted to giggle, have the giggles. And when I became a Christian, I started to giggle. For I started to get the giggles for certain things when I was when I was when I've when I became a Christian. Not just that, I find myself giggling at stuff, which is just, basically, when I start to think of things, think of something funny. When something funny comes to my mind, I start to laugh at it. And it's and most of the time I'm just there laughing by myself. You know, I don't have to have the most perfect entertainment. I'm just there on the bus, just smiling or laughing by myself. Sometimes I can't really, sometimes I can't really keep the laughter inside of me. Sometimes I laugh it out, um, and I giggle quite easily. I can giggle quite easily sometimes. So yeah, so that's it really for now. I don't think I got anything. If I do have something, I'll do a part two. But if you, yeah, okay. I hope you guys and ladies are blessed by this, by what I've said, and I hope it helps you. And thanks for your time again, and God bless. Peace.